Hello. So, I want to talk to you from this thought. Hold on, Sunday morning is coming. So, today is the 1 year anniversary of my son being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And up until this point, I have just really been encouraged, right? And if I'm going to be honest though, this morning I felt super defeated because I woke up at 2 a.m. and saw a number on Elijah's blood glucose monitor that I thought that I would never see again. Because probably up until about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, up until that point, we had been able to maintain normal blood sugar levels just through diet. And we were feeling really, really good about that. But about 2 weeks ago, things started shifting, and it's like, okay, back to the drawing board of trying to figure all of this out, right? And making adjustments to insulin and all of that, right? It's just a process of trying to figure it out. And thankfully, I am going to be able to soon work with a coach that's going to kind of help me in this process. But nevertheless, in that moment, this morning, when I saw that number, I felt extremely defeated, and I couldn't help but to think about, you know, the disciples over 2,000 years ago and how they were mourning just the death of Jesus and how he was in that tomb, and how, I'm sure they had high hopes. And even though Jesus told them he was going to be crucified, I'm sure in the process of them seeing him work so many miracles and healing the sick and just doing all these wonderful things, that they had high hopes, right, of what was to come. I'm sure they thought, man, he is just warming up, and then boom, he gets crucified. So I'm sure on Saturday morning that Jesus's death was not the only thing, right, that they were mourning. I'm sure there were other deaths that they were mourning, right? The death of their faith, their hopes, their dreams of, what they thought Jesus was going to do. And I think that a benefit that we have is that with scriptures, we know the full story, right? We see what is going to happen. And I can't help but to think, man, if only the disciples knew what I know from reading, right, the scriptures and seeing how the story begins and how it ends. If only they knew that Sunday morning was coming, instead of being in a place of despair, they would have been rejoicing. But as I was thinking about that this morning, I'm like, but wait, I do know how the story ends. So there's no need for me, when we get to these places, right, these bumps in the road, and these hiccups, or life just kind of catches you off guard. There's no need for me to sit and to mourn and to be in a place of despair, because I know that Sunday morning came. I know that Sunday morning, right, in my specific situation is coming, because on Sunday morning, my Jesus was resurrected. King Jesus was resurrected, and he rose with all power in his hand, and he was able to defeat death and the grave. So there's no need whatsoever for me to be in a place of despair. And this is why I really encourage people to get into the presence of God, because the reality is, you may be strong in one moment, but let me tell you, life happens, and it's easy for you to just get knocked down. But there's something about coming back, right, daily to the feet of Jesus, and getting your daily bread, to getting that encouragement you need to keep on going. And that's what I did this morning. I just sat in his presence, and I was reminded of the truths and just the implication, right, for me as a believer of the resurrection. Because Jesus rose, it not only offers salvation for me, but with that salvation, a part of the package deal is also peace, right? In the midst of the storm, peace in the process of dealing with the side effects of living in a fallen world. God never promised me that things were going to be easy and that I would never have to suffer any difficulties, or the ones that I love would never have to go through. That's a part of living in a fallen world. But he did promise, right? Because of this resurrection and because I've placed my faith and my hope in him, I know that he can give me an abiding peace. And when I feel that peace trickling out, I just come back and say, okay, here I am again, Jesus, right? So Sunday morning means so much to me as a believer. And sometimes, yes, you feel like you are in that tomb. But listen, hold on. Sunday morning is certainly coming, and there is a resurrection, and there is hope, and there is salvation, and there is peace for us who have placed our trust and our hope in Jesus. So I just want to encourage you this morning. What is it that you're facing and you are feeling like, man, I'm just in a place of despair and I don't really know how to figure this out and I feel so defeated? I'm here to encourage you, like, listen, Sunday morning is coming. Resurrection happened. And when Jesus rose, so much took place, and there are implications for us even today, right? That wasn't just for the disciples, it's for us today who have placed our trust in God. So don't you be discouraged. Rejoice in knowing that Sunday morning truly is coming. All right, you be blessed.